This GT500 is equipped with a 5.2-liter supercharged V8 engine producing 760 horsepower at 7,300 RPM and 625 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM, mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch Tremec transmission sprinting from 0 to 60 in approximately 3.5 seconds, with stopping power provided by 6-piston Brembo brakes front and 4-piston Brembo brakes rear. The reason I say approximately for 0 to 60 time is it's nearly impossible. Every time I did a launch control, the rear tires just spun like crazy. So it depends on how clean your launch is at start. Where to even start? This car is just stupid fast. As if the GT350 isn't already impressive, this car takes that performance and smacks you across the face with it. It's blistering fast, and thanks to the 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, shifts aren't missed. Being that I was not super impressed with the regular automatic in the Mustang, I was really hoping and crossing my fingers that this dual clutch would impress me, and it really did. The GT500 really throws it in your face that it's a fast car. Why not throw it in your face that it looks good too? In the Grabber Lime, I think it looks so cool. I love the top stripes. I'm not as big of a fan of the side stripes down towards the bottom end of the doors. But I do love overall just the big wing, the badges that are different from the GT350, and the big front lip as well. One thing I found confusing when operating the GT500 was actually how to open the hood. It starts out the same. You go on the driver's side in the footwell, you pull that release lever, and it opens, or at least it sounds like it does. When you go to open it, it doesn't look opened at all. So you actually have to push down those two black buttons, which are the hood pins. They need to be released and they'll simultaneously open, but you also have that traditional hood release in the center of the hood that you have to go search for with your hand. Pop that and then you can push the hood up. It is a lot heavier than I expected, but once it's open, it's so worth the view. The GT500's interior is not too far off of most Mustangs, other than you have some special GT500 only options in there and standard features. The Recaro seats that you see are optional. There is a special plaque that numbers which GT500 you have, and as well as a steering wheel that's obviously different. You're also going to find some buttons specific to the GT500. While I drove around in track and sport mode most of the time, there are other modes to this vehicle. Starting with normal mode, that's just the most standard mode. Everything's pretty tame. Then you move to sport. The screen also changes, which is really cool. Sounds a lot louder. And then you have track. It gives you a warning and lets you know that you are in track mode and you're not on a racetrack, or maybe you are. And then there's drag strip mode, which doesn't really change the screen that much. And then you have slippery mode, which if you actually do drive your GT500 in anything other than light rain, then this mode is for you. Exhaust modes make a huge difference. There is normal, quiet, which I was actually very impressed with how quiet this vehicle is on the highway in that particular exhaust mode. Then there's sport and track. Obviously, I stayed in sport or track most of the time, but I did have a longer freeway trip where I turned the quiet mode on, and it's actually really nice. There are also steering mode adjustments, including normal, sport, and comfort. There's also a special menu just for the GT500. Within that, there is a shift point indicator that you can select where you would like the car to tell you what your shift point needs to be. So you can select down or up, and it will let you know, hey, shift now, if you're in manual mode. And there's also other menus that have some different gauges that you can display in the digital cluster and other varying things for the GT500. The drive modes really do change a lot in this vehicle, personality-wise, noise, everything. If you go from normal to sport to track, it's significantly different in terms of exhaust and in terms of road feel, steering. Also, throttle response is a big one, and where the shifts actually occur in the rev range, especially in automatic mode. So I highly recommend if you ever get a chance to drive this car just to kind of play through the drive modes. I had so much fun with this car. It's really mind-blowing how fast it is and how comfortable it is, and also the fact that you're still in a Mustang. You can fit stuff in the trunk, you can fit small children in the back seat or cross-legged people in the back seat. But it's just such an awesome car. It was so much fun. I am thoroughly impressed by the dual clutch transmission and just the pure speed of the vehicle, the sound, everything. I love it, and I hope to get to drive one again someday soon.